Yo, what's going on, guys? SeanB here. Today I want to answer a question that I kept getting on stream earlier, which is, what do I think about the auto farm function in Summoners War? Due to a recent video from Bagel about the survey that COM2US pushed out, asking players whether they want auto farm or not. There are 3 reasons why I would love to have auto farm in this game. Number 1, farming is the most boring thing to do in this entire game. Every other thing in the game is really exciting. Guild battle, PvP, RTA, building teams, planning about runes, all that good stuff, very fun. Farming, very boring. Number 2, the manual content, the one that you have to actually play, there's so many of that already. There's so much manual content. And adding a couple hours of farming on top of that really kills the mood, dude. Really kills the mood. Number 3, smashing the like button. No, just kidding. Number 3, but for real though, if you haven't done that, really appreciate it. Number 3, if I can auto farm, I can farm so much more during occasion where I wouldn't really want to look at my phone every 30 seconds, for example, during work. If I only have to look at my phone every 10 minutes, it's much easier to farm and I can spend more crystal doing that, which means more money for COM2US. Or if I'm going out with my family, relatives, and girlfriend or whatever, definitely I can look at my phone every 30 seconds and just press maybe 3 times. Doesn't really bother me too much. But to some people, looking at their phone every 30 seconds during a social gathering might be a challenge. But looking at a phone every 30 minutes or 20 minutes is pretty okay. So they can farm even more, and that's pretty cool. So that's in short, but in the long form 10-minute version, let me give you the breakdown of what I really think about auto farming. The survey is from the branch office, and I have talked to almost all COM2US branch office that speak English and Vietnamese, which is where I'm from. And the Vietnamese office is also the head of Southeast Asia, which is this entire region. People in the headquarters, they don't like auto farm, even though auto farming is pretty much the norm in gacha game or hero collectors nowadays. Like you see in Epic 7, you see in Calibria, Crystal Guardian, you see in Rage. There are auto farming in almost every single hero collectors nowadays. But in Summoners War, one of the biggest, one of the longest lasting game, there's no auto farming. COM2US has made 2 other mobile games, which are Skyline the Rings of Hero and Elune. Both have, I think, unlimited auto farming until you run out of energy. And what happened to those 2 games? They're all gone now. So COM2US experience with auto farming is rather bad. They think that auto farming will make you lose interest in the game very, very fast, and you end up not really looking at your phone anymore. And it just take away your need to look at the phone, which means you're not really playing the game, which means you drop the game very, very soon. Which I kind of agree, because when you hit the auto farm button, you leave for like, I don't know, 5 hours, you just refill energy to give your account, let's say 1,000 energy. It can run for the entire day. And you just kind of forget about the game, and the game becomes pretty boring if the only thing you do is auto farm. But for a game like, let's say, Calibria, Crystal Guardian, there's soft auto farm. It's unlimited, but you can only do it 5 times per press, which means you have to look at your phone every 5 to 10 minutes, which is actually not bad. I really enjoy that. I still chat in the chat system because I still have to look at my phone every 5 minutes. In Raid Shadow Legend, you can only do it a limited amount of time per day, unless you pay more money for the daily pack so that you can do more auto farming, which I think is okay. Even if you pay more, you still get a limited amount anyway, so you can't auto farm the rest of your account. Even Epic 7 has auto farm right now, and they even take away the pay gate for that, which is cool. Going back to the branch office, they collect feedback every single day from Reddit, stream, chat, YouTube comment, influencers, and their own experience playing the game. And the feedback gets sent back to the headquarters, and that duration from sending to headquarters to seeing anything getting implemented takes forever. There are many quality of life changes that we have right now get implemented recently, but has been suggested to COM2US for the longest time, for years. And auto farm is one of them, has been suggested a long time ago, but COM2US stance on this is a big no-no. So seeing a survey is kind of positive, kind of nice, but in my opinion, I don't think the headquarters, for my interaction with the people from the headquarters, Auto farm is not going to happen anytime soon. To my top 3 reasons why I want auto farm, number 1 being farming is really boring. Farming is probably the only thing you do in the early game because you want to gather resources to awaken, rune up your team, upgrading with mana, building team to conquer TOA, Dragons B10, PV content. So farming is probably the only thing you do. But for mid game and end game player, and especially very late game player who spend the most money, farming is the least important thing that they spend their time on. When you log into Summoner's War, the first thing you do is definitely War Boss. So you click on War Boss, you do it 3 times. That is gonna take like 5 minutes, 3 minutes. And then you go to Arena, you clear your rivals. So when you wake up from a good night's sleep, you might have a couple more than this. And if you don't, you might want to clear your arena as well. So that's another 10 battles, at least a day. And then you go to your guild battle section. You have 3 swords, you have to do it all or else you're gonna get kicked from the guild. Depending on how strong your guild is, the battle may take longer because some of the enemies are freaking legend player with god tier quality rune. So crafting a team and actually doing the battle may take another 10 or 15 minutes. If you're doing farming guild, then that's good because it takes like 5 minutes to finish everything. If you're playing the game on a siege day, you may have to spend more time doing siege, and siege is actually not simple because you have to follow certain instruction from guildies unless you are doing farming siege, which is gonna be fast as well. But let's say you are doing a normal siege where you have to destroy the enemy team in a certain way. How do I open the map? I can't. So it's not fast. Siege is the most time consuming, annoying content for me because you can't just hit anything and you have to hit according to instruction. And G3 Siege, the team is not easy. Sometimes when you think of a team to beat the enemy defense, voila, somebody's already doing it. You have to move on to the next defense, which take another 5 minutes for you to think of a team to deal with it. And then you go in and play. So 10 siege battle is not fast and it's pretty tough. So it's gonna take like another easily 30 minutes, an hour to do siege for me. I don't know. Even if I'm not recording, it takes forever. Then if you are having a Tartarus day, which is not that often, most strong gear will finish this thing in like the first week. So if you're doing Tartarus, then if you know exactly what you're doing, it still take a couple minutes to do every single lantern. So if you're doing Tartarus, it's gonna take another, let's say 10-15 minutes. And then you have the compulsory react farming, which you only do once, but it takes a while too because you cannot speed run these dungeons. It takes a certain amount of turns to just win. So it's not repetitive per se for the entire week, but you do have to do them and it takes another 10-15 minutes, maybe half an hour if you take it slow for every single one to be finished. So maybe distribute that to the entire week. Maybe it costs you 5 minutes per day to do that if you're doing it every single day a little bit. You might want to spend some of your dimensional hole energy as well because you are efficient like a true Summoner Sword player. You can spend either farming runes or doing the Second Awakening. Let's say you're farming runes every day. Every run might take around 1:30 to 2 minutes because this thing is not easy. Speed run might be not safe and you don't want to waste energy. So let's say you do 10 per day. That's going to take like almost 15 minutes again. And then you have to spend a couple hours doing rune farming or else you're going to be left behind with the lack of runes. And then you have to do raid, which is not auto-repeatable. Is that a word? Because this is a co-op content. So you have to find a party either from chat or your guild to do raid or else you'll be left behind as well. So that's a lot of sort of compulsory content already. Some are auto, some are manual, but you kind of go through them every single day. It's a routine. And then you go to rune farming. It's pretty much the last thing you want to do for many players is to go in here. Smashing the start game, the replay button is not fun. Like, who here get enjoyment from smashing the replay button? Tell me, please, because I don't, man. I only get enjoyment from smashing the like button. Whether you are interested in guild battle or arena or RTA, everything requires you to build teams and rune management. And it's interesting to fix a team together, to speed tune them, to put them on wheel runes, to put them on certain runes that people don't expect, and then go to guild battle or RTA with them. And that's really fun. The team building, the rune management, the actual PvP. So what do you guys think about auto farming? Let me know in the comment section down below. I will try to give this to the COM2US people that I know to say, hey, there's even more feedback, more detailed feedback in the comment section, not just like, I want auto farm or I don't want auto farm. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until next time.